Put on your helmets and buckle your chin straps for the wildest podcast held in the Steel City. Dubs and Chickenhawk will give you a taste of the past in fried jumbo.
All right, welcome everybody. Guess what? We have a great guest here today with us, Mr. Mark Simon Hunt Chickenhawk. We go way back with this cat.
Dude, way back. I mean, years and years and years, and still friends today, so it's pretty sweet stuff.
Yeah,
right?
North Irwin's finest.
Oh,
we haven't had anyone on from North Irwin
He's Mr.
yet.
North Irwin, his
wouldn't
age
say
group.
that.
Your age group, you are, kid.
Yeah, so we wanted representation. We've talked about Irwin Playground. We talked about Circleville. We've talked about different communities, Fairview, Hawntown, but we haven't got anybody on from North Irwin. So, we want to do that because you all up there were, I don't know, you weren't stuck up, but you were standoffish, man. You were a clique up there. What was going on in North Irwin? I mean,
What number? First of all, what number is this for our?
oh, we're 39.
39.
Larry
Because you know what I
Zonka.
want to say? That's Big Ed's number too.
It is?
Yeah, it's my dad's number in football. Was
football.
39.
No kidding.
Larry Zonka.
So
too.
39, kid. Good number.
So we're episode 39. We got a special guest, Mark Simon, with us, North Irwin's finest, and you guys were basically right next to us in town, obviously on the north part of Irwin, but no one ever went up there unless it was for maybe like a kickball game organized through the playground or something like that, or we went to North Irwin Pond fishing.
Yeah, the pond to
Yeah, right.
skate
But you'd
or
take your
fish.
life in your own hands if you went up there by yourself. You had to have like your dad with you.
Yeah. Yeah, if you came up there from out of town,
Out of town.
you couldn't use the turkey path. We had two paths. We had a chicken path and we had a turkey path.
So tell me, where did they go to?
So the turkey path was right behind Speedy's.
Right.
And you had to be a bad dude to go up there because halfway up there was this flat rock.
Yeah.
And all the hoodlums sat on the rock and smoked weed.
Oh, weird.
And they'd shake you down. If you went down there, like, give me your candy from Speedy's.
Give me your candy.
Oh, yeah.
So if you happen to have like a sweet lolly or some Mike and Ike's,
Anything.
they were going to take it off
They'd
you.
take it right off you.
Oh, dear
Yeah,
Lord.
you had to be careful. You had to go up the chicken path.
One thing about North Irwin, it's like typical Pittsburgh. It's a hill, man. That's the difference. Like all the towns in Pittsburgh, right? They're separated by hills. Every little town and big town. And North Irwin just has a hill. You have to get up the hill to get to this little part of the world.
And it's bricks. Like
brick.
And it's still bricks today.
yeah.
still is.
I remember if it rained and you were coming down out of there, you would slide like
Oh,
hell.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. You can see still, I know the sound going up and down the hill. Still the same way today.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. That's cool they never paved that. You know, they have a couple spots where they try to pave it. I'm like, don't do it.
Well, those brick roads, from what my dad said, they'll last way longer.
Oh,
than concrete,
gosh, yes.
You know, pavement, anything.
How old is it? It's our lifetime.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, 100 years?
Yeah. It's
There
been
ain't no
that way.
blacktop lasting 100 years.
Yeah, it's been there at least since we were little. And it
Yeah.
never changed.
So if you're not from Pittsburgh, we still have brick roads, and one of them is to is it a village of North Irwin, or is it a
borough.
It's a borough.
So it's a separate municipality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an actual borough. We have, we did our own thing, had our own police officer,
How
Bernie
about
Reynolds.
that dude?
Bernie.
Oh, man. Bernie Reynolds.
I loved Bernie.
Classic.
Yeah. How long was he there? Oh gosh.
He was there, I don't know. Bernie.
Did he pull everybody over here? He pulled me over once.
Well,
going
what
through
Bernie
a stop
would
sign.
do
just to
is-
stop
Oh,
me.
yeah. Bernie
He
got
would
me.
pull you over.
Yeah.
And if he did write a citation, the mayors would throw it out. Like, immediately. They're like, Bernie, rip that thing up. I know it's dad. What are you doing?
That's old school Pittsburgh
And
right there.
Bernie,
baby.
he was a certified cop,
Yeah.
but I can't remember. I don't think he had a gun.
No?
But basically, what
I
Bernie
don't
would
remember
do
with a
is
gun.
chase us around all night.
Like from tic-tacing and stuff.
Everything. He'd follow us around. He'd hide behind trees and stuff.
That's what I remember.
He would get out of the car and hide behind trees.
He
I
wouldn't
didn't
know where
that.
he
Oh,
was.
he
He
did
would
that,
just
yeah.
show up randomly, and then we'd say, Bernie, and we'd all just run. But we didn't. We just did it to him to chase us.
Yeah, and you didn't do anything wrong.
No,
just so
we
to
would
chase
just
you.
run. And we would play this cat and mouse game around North Irwin all night long.
Was he the
As soon
only
as it got dark and it was time to go home, Bernie chased us around. The mentality of this grown man. Right? I'm being honest. That's what we did every night.
But you know what? Probably kept him in shape because he lived to be a good old
Really
age,
shape.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Chasing you rats
fastest
around.
walker I've ever seen in my life. He could walk faster than we could run.
But I do remember being at your house when I was older in life, and we were, the Jimi Hendrix experience. We won't get into all that. But,
Okay, good.
But listened to music too loud. He even showed up for that.
Yeah.
You know, we were down bouncing on your trampoline. Remember we would dunk on your basketball hoop by jumping on the trampoline and stuff?
Yeah.
And he would show up and he'd go, you got to lower that music.
He just walked. I mean, how big is North Irwin? Let's give everybody an idea of how many streets. It's maybe a square mile. Not even that, huh?
Yeah, it's a square mile.
Square mile?
I don't
It
know
is
how many
almost
streets.
perfectly square on top of this ridge.
It is. I think when I was younger, I think there was about 1,100 people lived there,
1,100.
give or take.
Yeah.
But Bernie, getting back to him, he would also, if you did something really bad, he would take you home. That was a big thing.
To your parents.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
dear Lord.
every parent would say, Bernie, get out of my house. Get out of here.
Because you were just being like kids. You know?
So he didn't want to take us home anymore because it was embarrassing for him.
Oh, because the parents would
Yeah,
chastise
they'd tell him
him.
to get out of here.
Get out, Vern.
Was there anything wrong with him at all? Or do you think-
You
I mean, because it was very peculiar. You know, he
It's
was-
just strange to chase us around all
yeah,
night long.
all the time. I think.
And he got
really-
paid by the borough, I
Yeah.
guess.
To
So
work.
he was an employee.
Yeah.
Now, was there any other police people
No.
besides him?
No.
So you had a one policeman.
Yeah.
For
The
like-
good thing was,
40 years. I mean, I don't know
although
anybody
he
else.
wasn't a good cop, having one cop
Yeah.
for that little area. to
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
patrol,
pretty
that's
good,
a lot
actually.
of coverage, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he kept, I'm sure nothing stupid happened. I mean, Bernie was standing behind a tree.
Pretty much.
Peeking
So
around.
would he show up at the kickball games and down at the? You had a ball field there, right? North
He
Irwin?
probably was hiding in the woods watching us.
Okay, making
But
sure
you never really saw
making
Bernie.
sure you weren't vandalizing it.
You didn't know where Bernie was. He could show up
He
anywhere.
was a hide and seek chip.
He was.
Bernie was a
I
hide and
do
seek chip.
remember him popping out.
He
Yeah,
does. He'd pop
I do
out
remember that.
anywhere.
Yeah.
He'd like be peering at you, and you'd still, oh my God, Bernie's looking at us. Run.
Remember you'd be like, "Oh, Bernie, he's coming! Bernie's coming!"
Was he from North Irwin?
Yes.
Was he really? Born and lived his whole life in North Irwin.
Yes.
1 square mile.
Yes.
Yeah, and you had a school there, but you didn't go.
Yes.
That was that.
Oh yeah. I
You went
to
to
Yeah,
that
you
school?
went to that school. Yeah.
Okay.
big brick school.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have torn it down. And they
So
had
what
it
happened
in
when-
Wonder why they
multiple
did
times
tear
just
it down.
tearing it down? It was built so strongly.
When they tore it down, where did the kids go then? From North
I think they went to Sharon Terrace,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Shaw
yeah.
School.
Shaw School. I think most of them went.
Yeah, combined
Okay.
that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about because you had that school. I can remember being in that school for some reason. Did they have a basketball hoop in there or no?
Yeah.
yeah,
It
they
was a
did.
Yeah.
concrete gym.
Yeah, I remember.
Wonder
that.
why they tore. They just were in the mood of those days of
Days of
turning
getting
older
rid of
stuff
giant
down, and it was
ones, yeah.
silly because you could
Yeah.
that could
Those
be
things
something
were
now.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
those schools.
Community
It was
center. It
unbelievable.
could be a community center. It could
Yep, exactly. It was a great place to grow up, though. It was.
Yeah.
It was amazing. We had a pond
Be. Yep.
that we would ice skate in the winter
Yep.
and have bonfires.
Yeah.
Play hockey,
Oh wow.
fall in.
Yep.
And then in the summer we fished.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we had that pond full
Yeah.
time all year. And it was a great experience growing up.
Right.
It was right by the playground. Now they
Right.
built houses
Right
around it.
across
You
the
can't see
street.
it.
Right across
Yeah,
the
and
street. from the
me and
ball
my dad would put huge fish in there. We'd catch
Oh,
them
yeah.
down in the river and transport them. And if you've ever fished, you'd always catch fish.
Oh, there's fish.
field. Really?
Yeah, always.
Oh,
and it
he's
was
famous.
only probably
Wonder what kind of pond that is. Just a pot pond? I mean, it was an old farm. It had to be probably maybe from an old farm or something that was there.
it was
that
only
farm's
two,
right
it
there.
was only like 2 foot deep. It was all mud.
Yeah, it was all like muddy, but what they had a lot
The
of
bass.
was the carp and bass and stuff.
Yeah. Catfish.
Catfish. But Benny had his own dough ball. That was
yeah.
it was a
Oh, yeah.
special
It's called Simon Ball.
Simon ball.
No kidding.
It was
Oh, yeah.
famous.
Famous.
Wow. Maybe we ought to capitalize a little entrepreneurship here. We could
Yeah, put some
might
preservatives.
have
I'm
to
not
get-
sharing a recipe, though.
start. We might have to start down Mississippi, down south, or something.
Well, carp fishing's huge in Europe, man. It's like
In Europe, you want
Oh.
to go to Europe and sell this mud ball?
Yeah, we'll sell it in
Okay,
Europe.
I'm in.
Carp fishing's a
World
big
Wide
deal.
Web.
Big thing.
Yeah, big deal.
So you had your own mixture, and it was,
Yeah.
and then hammered
It's-
them.
what was
there-
it? What was it?
Well,
like,
it was
like,
flour, gelatin, and vanilla.
vanilla.
But
Crazy.
it's not exact science, but you got to make it so it stays on your hook, but it's
Right.
not
Soft
real
enough
hard.
for them to eat.
Right, right.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was the key.
Yeah, because they suck it in.
The,
Like-
Yeah.
mouth, the mouth fill.
Yeah. And if it doesn't stay hooked, you cast it just falls off. But
Yeah, he used to take it down to.
down to the river.
Yeah, we'd go to the Yacht,
Oh, really?
and he would take Simon ball.
They always called it Simon Ball.
And he was the only one that could catch it. I mean, we wouldn't catch a freaking fish without Simon ball.
Well, when you grow up beside a pond that has those fish in there, you experiment quite a bit.
Oh yeah, we go
figure
down
out
there.
it's a science.
Later in life, we'd go drinking down at the Yawk River.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? And we would take the salmon ball with us, and that was the only way we could catch anything.
Yep.
So let's talk about your some of the kids that grew up there. I think I know a bunch of them, but why don't you take through who you hung out with and did things with over there when you were little?
Till I was probably about 13. It was Billy Wolf. You
Yeah,
guys know Joe
Billy.
Wolf, his older
Yeah.
brother Billy.
Billy and his dad
Mike
was
Malocki.
involved with like refereeing or coaching.
No, that was
Yeah.
that was a different one.
Okay, different Wolf. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Maloki's from up there?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they were from Braddock. They moved there.
Oh,
Mike
okay.
was probably 13 or
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Mike was
Chris Harrison, he's no longer with us. Then some older kids like Timmy Novak,
Yeah.
Okay, remember him?
McIntyre's.
McIntyre's, right?
The whole
Big
gang.
John and them, Tom.
Big John
Yeah.
and Thomas, yeah, and
Marianne.
Marianne
Who was
and
friends
all
with
those,
Trina and
all
all
those
that, right.
girls. You know, we hung out with all those girls.
Yeah.
we were
Seafields.
friends with
Seafield.
the Seafield. Yeah, and then there was another faction of kids that weren't that good. I mean, there were some bad dudes, honestly, in
Yeah.
North Irwin. That
I
they
do
got in
remember
a lot
them.
of trouble. Yeah.
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 They got in a lot of
Yeah.
We were more mischievous. We were
Right.
more than mischievous. Okay.
Right.
Almost the criminal, but not criminal. Okay. Like today, we'd be in Schumann Center.
Yeah, that's right. All of us would be like if they
You
went
know,
back and took what we
I mean,
did.
we
right?
like
Oh,
the
God,
we
yeah.
like the tic tac, which is throwing
Yeah.
coins at houses. We like the soap windows,
Throw eggs.
throw
Cars,
eggs. We like
cars.
to take people's Christmas lights and throw them
Yeah.
up in the air and let them bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did some things like, well, we wouldn't steal anything. We wouldn't really hurt anybody,
Right.
but we were damaging a little bit
Yeah,
of property here and there,
Sure.
But that's why Bernie. We did that a lot so Bernie could chase us. This one time, I'll tell a story. I mentioned Billy Wolf. We used to terrorize Bernie, so we had this idea we were going to have Billy Wolf come walking up the hill with a cart of eggs.
Oh.
So and when Bernie chased him, he was going to take off.
Yeah.
But what Bernie didn't know, there were no eggs in the carton.
Oh.
So he's chasing Billy Wolf, and Billy Wolf's like this. Billy Wolf turns around and hands him the empty egg cart.
He probably was flipping out. You
God.
outfoxed him.
Yeah, we got him that time.
That's hilarious.
It reminds me like that Don Knotts. Remember
Yeah,
Don
right.
Knotts? played,
Exactly
oh,
like
yeah.
Don Knotts.
He played
Sounds like it.
Barney Fife.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
jeez.
that was pretty good though to
Yeah.
think about to take the eggs out. We'll psych them out.
We spent a lot of time thinking about things. to
Think
do
so.
there. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, that's
Who
what
else grew up?
small
Eddie
town.
Anthony and them.
Eddie
Danny
Yeah,
and
Eddie
them.
Anthony.
They grew up
Yeah.
there.
I'm
The
trying to
Kovacs. grew up
Yeah,
there.
Kevin.
Obviously the Schrumps.
The Schrumpers.
Yeah, the
Eddie,
Schrumpers.
Mac, and
Me, Mac.
Jimmy.
Wow, there was a lot of people from up
Gumby
there.
Volpe.
Gumby.
Gumby.
Volpe.
He was on
probably-
Helms.
Gumby's
he was
probably the second most famous person. From
Yeah.
there. Doug Plank, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Professional football player, 46 defense.
For the Bears.
And then Gumby Volpe.
Yeah.
Gumby Volpe was in Playgirl.
He was in Playgirl.
He was in
right?
Playgirl,
right?
right?
Remember?
Yeah,
He
which
went
made
down
him pretty
to
famous.
he went down to spring break with us,
He
Gumby.
did.
You
Yeah,
remember?
he was with us that time.
Yeah.
Great family, great kids.
Yeah,
You
they're
know,
all great.
They were.
Yeah,
they
there
were-
was a
that
bunch
an
of 'em.
awesome family.
Yeah.
Mitchell. He has a brother.
Mitch, yeah.
Oh
And,
yeah, Mitch and Tony's
Tony,
little
little
brother.
Tony,
and
yeah.
The
And
girls
his
were a
sister.
little older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all live in Myrtle Beach now.
Yeah. I know they like to vacation on there. I didn't know they.
Yeah, they all
Yeah.
moved there. Gumby
Okay.
has a
Construction
company
yeah.
down there.
Gumby's the one kid when you grew up, he could walk into a room and it was like he was the only dude in the room, man.
He
All
was
the
such
chicks,
a nice kid too.
but all the chicks
Yeah,
just
they-
like
yeah, they
Gumby
love
was
Gumby.
just a beautiful looking dude, you know?
Yeah. What a nickname, huh?
Gumby. Where's that from?
I don't. It was his name since I knew him.
I don't know how he got that name.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I remember Mini Mac got his name from a guy named Mike Cyrus. So Jeff Schrump's real
Yeah.
name, he was Mini Mac.
Right.
And our neighbor Mike Cyrus named him that.
Huh.
I remember that. And I'm not even sure where that came from.
Right, why he called
But
him
he's
that, right?
Mini
It's
now,
not-
to
his
this
name
day.
isn't Mac and McIntyre
No.
or anything like that.
He was short.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good athlete.
Yeah.
Nice
The
kid.
North Irwin boys.
All the North Irwin kids you think about, they're
Yeah.
nice. I do remember some not nice ones, but
Who
we're
were
not
all
going
the
to mention
girls
them
you had
kids.
up there? You had a lot of guys, it sounds like. You had Marianne McIntyre, you had
Trina.
Trina.
Shelley,
oh,
Tauber.
Shelley Tauber,
She hung out
yeah.
with us a lot.
Yeah.
Jill Soyson.
Yeah.
Jill. She had,
That was the crew. Becky Seafield.
Oh, yeah. The Soysons from up there, yeah.
Wendy Wirtz, if you know her.
I know
Yeah.
Wendy.
Yeah.
Wendy,
Great
Wendy
girl.
was always hanging
all
out
nice,
with us.
nice,
Wow.
nice person.
We would just walk
Well,
the streets
how many
all day
kids are
and
up there
night.
now? I mean, are there that many kids
I
up
don't
there
know.
now?
I don't know. But we would go, obviously before video games.
Right.
This is the honest to God truth. We would get out of the house at 9 or 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
and we wouldn't be home till midnight.
Yeah.
We
Every
were
day.
finding something to do. We were, whatever, playing a game, swinging on vines,
Right.
jumping in people's pool when we weren't allowed to.
Right.
Just getting into
Something.
things, People would, every day someone would step on a nail, just being somewhere, on a crate or something.
Yeah.
Breaking hands and legs and just going all night.
I do remember that. Someone broke an arm or a hand or something every couple of weeks in the
All
neighborhood.
the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Jumping their bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
You remember jumping
well,
bikes?
yeah.
Oh, we do all that. Yeah. Right.
There were no helmets. There was no nothing.
No, we just always found something to do.
How many brush burns? Just imagine how many miles of brush burns when kids got
Well,
back
you
in.
experienced the same things. I mean, it's not just
There was just
North Irwin.
No,
You're
it's
out
just
playing all day.
Yeah, 'cause there was
playing.
there was only 3 channels, right?
Yeah.
And once like Gilligan's Island and what else was on at the end of school there for an hour. That was it.
And if that wasn't enough, at night we'd play Release of Belgium, which is like hide and go seek kind of thing.
Well, you're trying to figure out why they call it Belgium or whatever. I mean, because we call it Release to Belgium, but we had a lot of other people on here that called it just Release.
Yeah, just release.
Yeah.
But we
Yes.
did you call it Release to Belgium
Release.
over there?
Yeah,
Or just
Release?
I think we cut it down to Release, but I think it was original.
But we always called it Release to Belgium.
We talked about that knife game. What was that knife game?
Mumbly Pigs.
Mumbly Pigs. I just met somebody else. I was at this week or last week. Somebody's going, "Do you ever play Mumbly Pigs?" I'm like, "Wait a minute." It's a woman from like the North Hills, Mumbly Pigs.
Oh yeah, that was a game.
Indian
we
game-
played it
game. It
every
came from
single
American
day
Indians.
in my little neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's like a knife game. You do all these tricks with a knife, and you have this little dirt pit, and you got to take it off your wrist, your elbow here, off your forehead. All these little tricks.
We used to play a knife game where you stood and the guy across from you would throw it close to your foot.
That's chicken.
Yeah.
Chicken.
That's chicken.
Licks talked about that. Him and his brothers would play that.
There's another famous family from North Irwin. Spent a couple years there. The Llewellyns family.
Llewellyns
They
grew up
had-
there.
They didn't grow up there. They lived right below me for a while.
Did they?
Yeah, we kicked them out.
You heard about
We
Licks.
kicked them
You know Licks with a knife game. You can only imagine. His brothers would try to, and then you know what Licks would do.
He would just throw the knife and hit him in the foot.
Yeah, that
Stick him
was
right in the foot.
he likes to claim North Irwin, but he just passed through.
Oh,
He would
yeah.
go.
He ain't one of us.
He took a deep breath. That's about it.
Yeah,
They were everywhere.
but they played it with darts, like chicken with
Yeah.
darts. And he would just whip the dart into his brother's feet. And they would go, he'd go, oh, I guess I lost.
Sorry, I lost.
He was smarter than he looked.
Oh, he was way.
Smarter than he looked. That
Deviant. You look up deviant in the dictionary. He was there.
Oh, he's a character. That dude, I'm telling you.
Ugh.
When we were little, he was into something. He would fascinate on things.
His brain would go different directions.
He would get into bodybuilding for a year. Or
Yeah, did you never? No, Licks got into bodybuilding.
Oh, that's.
Could
That's
you imagine?
I have a
that?
bad image of that.
Yeah, that's just a good image. There's nothing good about
He
that.
has antibody covered.
It had an inverse reaction for him. Instead of building muscle, it tore it down.
So true. So true.
Hey, he could scrap.
Yeah.
I know that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't matter
He
what
was a
kind of muscles
scrapper.
you show. You got to be able to pawn somebody if you have
Good
to.
scrap. I could tell you a lot of stories about that.
All right, so I have some real big memories of you being a pitcher for a team called Genuine Tool in our Little League.
Mm-hmm.
And you were a holy hell terror.
Yeah,
bastard.
he was. Did you ever smile when you were a kid when you pitched? I
still
don't
don't.
remember him smiling one.
No, he
Game
was
face, man.
he was tough.
Yeah, he was.
I want to intimidate.
Here's the thing: there were guys. I don't know how you pulled it off. Because you're 1982. I graduated in 1985. That's 3 years difference. How did we play Little League together?
I think you started in Little League.
You know what I mean? Like he's a year older than
Well,
you.
they didn't have
No,
like.
I'm actually not. So
Oh,
I went to school a year early.
Oh,
So Paul Diggs and I.
yeah, because we used
Tom
to.
Dybel has the same birthday as me.
Oh yeah.
When is your birthday?
January 19th.
Holy!
Yeah, I'm really young.
Yeah.
for
So
my
you're
grade.
only 5 months older or older than me.
I'm really young from probably
You should
younger
be
than
in-
anybody
yeah,
ever
you should
been
be
in.
in the other grade.
I'd be average.
You
in
should
that
be in.
grade.
You
college
should have
grade.
graduated '83.
Yeah, and Paul's the same way. And
Yeah.
Tom Dybel's the same way. So
No
that's how we all
kidding.
played together. Yeah.
Man, all three of you
But back then,
if you would
it
have
was
been
10, 11,
'83,
and
that would
12,
have
and now
killed.
it's 11 and 12. It's
You would have been. I mean, you were a demon as it was.
He was a demon.
Yeah, and Diggs. I remember Diggs and that Dibble. They could fire that ball.
Yeah, Dibble was.
Joe Navaroli could throw.
Yeah, he could too.
Yeah. And he was wild, so he scared the shit out of you.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I can still remember.
He was either going to hit down a catcher's mitt, or he's going to hit you in the forehead.
Yeah,
right.
but he could bring it.
Right.
But I do remember you. There's no doubt about it. You just have a vivid memory of him from DQ up on the mound.
No, not DQ. He was Genuine.
Or Genuine. Oh, that's right. You played for Croup. That's right. Genuine Tool. But here's
for
Mark,
Mr. Croup.
You always
That's
had
my
a
guy.
dark tan. What nationality are you?
Hungarian.
Something.
Hungarian?
Yeah.
Because your dad had a dark tan and dark hair
Hungarian.
too.
He's 100% Hungarian.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But you mentioned Mr. Croupy. I just love that man. You know,
Yeah, he's a great man.
He's taught me so much about life and about baseball. He drafted me from when I was 7 years old, the whole way through Legion. I played for this.
Yeah,
maniac.
I played with you on Legion.
Maniac.
Yeah.
But he loved his players, man.
Yeah, he did.
He was, I miss him. He was
he's a good dude.
a great baseball guy,
Yeah.
too. Just
You know, he's my mom's cousin.
Is he really?
Yeah, the Croups are. Yeah, they're
Okay.
all my cousins.
And Mrs.
Bobby and them.
Croupy,
Yeah, they're
amazing
great.
woman.
They're all good.
Yeah, I have a lot of memories.
They
of
still
Mrs.
lived
Croupy.
on. That's my great.
Railroad Street.
Yeah, great grandfather's place. That's,
Is it?
Yeah, it was a hotel.
Yeah.
At one time.
Yeah.
At the railroad right
Across
there.
from Fishes.
Yeah, and they lived there forever, and they're just great people. I know Bobby Croupy was with my son the other day, and they were talking about stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Mr.
Bobby was
Croupy-
on with Mark's team.
Was he? Oh, yeah.
Bobby was your shortstop.
Yeah, Bobby
Well,
was good.
What happened when Mr. Croupy, he wanted to win so bad. We're playing this championship game, and he had Johnny Croupy.
Yeah,
Johnny
Johnny.
was like 8 years old, but
Right.
we were all 12, right?
Right, Johnny would be there though.
He puts Johnny in the game as a substitute, and Johnny was probably only about 4'3".
Yeah, he was a little
And he
guy.
had Johnny even go down further, so his strike zone was.
Oh yes,
this
I remember
much.
that. I remember that.
He got
this.
walked, and we won. But Coach would do that.
Oh, Mr. Croup, he had to win, man.
He had to win.
Yeah.
I will.
He used to argue with umpires. Like he sat in a chair there on the side. When there was a bad
Yeah.
call, he felt
Oh.
he would jump up and down like a maniac, and his false teeth would just
Yeah,
fly out. Of his
spit
mouth.
flying everywhere.
There's dirt all over him, and he's wiping them off,
Yep.
and putting them back.
Yep,
He had a cigarette in a lot,
all
too.
the time.
all the time. All the time, he had a cigarette in.
Yeah. I remember watching you practice because I lived by the ball field, and we didn't practice much. We just
We kind of did what we did.
We would come and
Yeah.
play the games, but we didn't really practice. But I would be up there on my bicycle, you know, and I'd watch how you practice. He used to throw balls from half of the.
Yes.
he was. If the mound
Yes.
is here, that's what 46
on a
feet.
knee. On a knee, he would throw them.
Yes,
with a bucket next to him.
and he would fire them from half the distance. So from 23 feet away, I just remember him firing ball after ball after ball.
He would get
after
hit.
ball.
Take infield practice with him. I mean, he would just smash
We would
him at
He
you
would
all
get hit
day.
in the head, and he'd
Yep.
go, "Yeah, that's what I want." And
Yep.
he'd
Yeah,
just go.
toughen up.
But he found a field in Ardera, right? You know where Ardera
Oh
is,
yeah,
the school.
a dunk hoop.
That no one
Remember-
used.
remember
No
they
one
had
ever
that
used the field.
dunk hoop
Yeah.
there?
So we would practice 4 hours a day, every day, baseball. He'd say, "Bring a lunch."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
4 hours, you would hit your hands would be bleeding.
Yeah, people
I
didn't do it those
in Little
days.
League. I didn't practice 4 hours my whole Little League time.
Did you play
Every
for him
day.
in Pony League at all?
Yeah, I did. I played for him. I was center field for him in Bernie's.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're my cousins. We'd go down to Larmer. Remember Larmer ball field? It's all grown in now.
Sure.
And he hit
Remember
me
it?
and Bobby and Joe. It just crashed balls at
Yeah.
you. People didn't understand
Yeah.
that he would just crush them at you with a fungo bat. Just crush them right at you. You're like,
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ. And those fields weren't drug. They weren't.
But I seen him turn kids into very good ball players.
Oh yeah.
That could barely walk and
Repetition,
talk when they
man.
start. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yep.
I mean, if you throw the ball as fast as he would at us
Yeah.
in practice,
Yeah.
no kid's going to throw it that hard.
No.
So we were always way in front of a pitch,
right.
even the hardest throwers in the league, because
Oh, dude,
it was nothing.
It was nothing.
It was
yeah, 'cause
great.
and he would throw them at your head, and it was just nuts.
The big Notre Dame
I'd
game, right, was up, so the Croops were all over
yeah.
the internet with Notre Dame.
No batting
you know.
glove. You put a batting glove on, you
Oh,
gotta
no,
get that
no.
thing off of you.
Yeah, you weren't allowed.
No, you know where that.
Mr. Croupy. What a character. We
That's
had a
all-
bunch of characters. Those
Oh, yeah.
coaches.
Oh,
my
yeah.
Think
Wayne
about him, Wayne Painter,
Yeah.
Bulldog, we
Mr.
call him
Kovacs.
Mr. Kovacs from DQ. He was
Mr.
DQ.
Joe Stewart. He was
So-
Dairy Queen too.
Yeah.
And then
Mr.
who else?
Diggs.
Mr. Diggs was KFC.
Yeah.
Mr. Patterson was Helms.
Helms.
I'm sure there's more.
I'm trying to. I lose track of a lot of the other names of the teams. And
But it
things
was
like
funny. They would all be smoking.
Oh, Mr. Dybel helped coach.
Yeah, he helped
Sanson's.
Sanson's,
Yeah.
Oh, Sanson's, yeah.
I didn't like
Mr. Painter.
Sanson's.
No.
You were the first person when Croup became a dynasty, right? Because wasn't
Yeah.
Dairy Queen before you guys? Wasn't
Yeah.
Dairy Queen before you guys? The top of
but
the heap?
but actually,
Some of
we
those
kind
Sansons.
of never were able to take over Sanson's.
Yeah,
believe it or not.
Sanson's.
We got past Dairy Queen, who was really good.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you got past
Sanson's-
Sanson's.
Here and there, but they
They
had our
were
number.
loaded, man.
They
They
had
had,
our number.
everybody's number. You've heard the story.
Yeah, they fixed
Don't,
drafts.
Danny Rothwell dropping the ball in left field on us. You heard that story.
Yeah,
God.
Sanson's. Oh, I
So
never
even
forget
when
that.
I hear Sanson's, and I
Chickenhawk
can
had him
see
beat.
those goddamn
On the
uniforms.
man doing his
Danny
huffing and
Rothwell.
puffing. Todd had he was pretending he was the Mad Ralph Brabowski or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
He had them so psyched out they couldn't.
They were like walking up going,
You weren't big enough to psych anyone
no.
out.
Dude,
Oh, I
he
had
got
him
him
psyched
psyched
out.
out. He was
I
throwing
was
it over the back.
throwing dirt. I was hitting. Oh, I had to hit a half dozen players.
Yeah, he hit like 5 guys in a
Yeah,
row.
that's back when now if you hit 2, you're up. No, back then it was
No,
like
you just kept hitting them.
yeah, you just got to get
Yeah.
in. We had them till the final out.
They were loaded though. They had them
Yeah, they were.
Dybels and all the.
They were
Ferguson was
loaded. They had the
good.
He was
Dybels.
good. Todd
Kenny
Ferguson
Kenzel
was
was good.
good. Kenny
Yeah,
Kenzel.
Kenny Kenzel was a
We had some
beast.
good players.
He was a man at that age.
Kenny, he was getting served in the bars at
Yeah.
at 13.
Yeah.
You go into Lee's bar and get us.
And
a
then you
six-pack.
had us rat asses. We were out there
We had a
uniforms.
good team, man. We had good talent. We just didn't practice. Think who we had. We had Ernie Antolic, who ended up playing,
D-ball.
Division I football, and he played
Oh, really?
Yeah.
for Arena League, like 5 years of arena football. We had Gumby Volpe.
Yeah.
We had me, Bart, Todd. We had the Redinger kid.
Randy Rediger. Remember, Rediger
Oh,
could
yeah,
bring
I
it.
like Randy.
He was a
played on
ball
our
player.
tournament teams.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was a
we
ball
had
player.
the other kids, Ron Shirley.
Yeah, you did.
We had the Pezzy kids
Yeah.
and Ned's Balla and who
No,
else?
you did have some good
We had some
players.
good
Yeah.
players, man. We just
Yeah.
couldn't do
Well,
it.
my dad would show up half the games. He was golfing or something.
Yeah, he was quite absent.
he would.
I remember
he
that.
would be on a bender or something.
Yeah,
like
my
that.
mother and his mother would be there with cookies and Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
And then we had Selchin, so there was fights every time.
Yeah,
He was like, "You
Selchin.
guys are idiots."
Selchin. But yeah, we. I just remember Mark that time we played him up at Country Hills,
Oh, I can always remember him on the mound like it was yesterday.
and he was no hitting us
Yeah.
into the bottom of the 6th, and I think there was one batter left up. And it was Tony Snyder, little Tony.
Snyder.
I
He
remember
was like,
him.
remember, he was this big.
I remember him.
He's a good kid, though. man.
Lovely.
What a good guy.
Oh, great kid. And he, some reason, decided to bunt, and he broke up your no hitter because he got like a 2-foot hit. Like
Yeah.
he rolled in front of the plate,
Yeah,
and then the
yeah.
catcher couldn't get it down.
Yeah.
So you were, I don't know if you remember, but you were extremely pissed off, and you were like, "That's bullshit, bunting the bottom
that
of the
was
6th."
And then I think
You know what? You took on a little bit of Croupie's attitude.
Oh yeah. I coached a lot after that, a long time.
Did
and
you?
I coached just like him.
Yeah, and Croup flipped out
He flipped out
because the Tony bunted. You know.
Then I think your brother came up next and I hit him in the face. Right?
Poor Bart.
you beamed him in the face.
Bart could bring a ball, though.
Yeah.
He could whip a ball, but he never could hit after that.
After
The rest
you-
of his
you-
life,
you
he could
took,
never bat.
His front teeth out.
Yeah.
Right in the eye socket. Cut him. It was you or Navaroli, one of the two, right in the eye socket. I saw it.
Yeah, I remember that Navaroli. He broke Danny Rothwell's arm right in front of me.
Yeah.
Like he was up before me,
threw
Rothwell.
hard.
He threw so hard, he broke his arm. I was literally ready to piss my
Shitting
pants
your
because they're like,
pants.
Fleming, you're on deck. You're up next. I'm like,
Joe threw hard.
do I have to? I don't want to go. He's so damn wild. I mean, but his ball had a lot of like yes on it.
Yeah.
Well, he
It
threw it
went
so hard, you
sideways
didn't know
so
where it
hard.
was going.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good ball players. I tell you what.
Oh, we had John Sy too. He
the-
was a hell of a
if-
pitcher.
John Size.
Yeah, John Sy was a good
Heard his
pitcher.
name
He's a
a long
lefty.
time. I like
huh?
John.
Huh? Lefty.
Yeah.
He could
Yeah,
fire the
lefty.
ball.
Good kid.
Yeah,
He had
Johnny
an
Sy.
unbelievable,
Whole family's good kid.
Yeah, they're good
unbelievable
people.
motion on his pitching.
Tell you what, we had a hell of a lot of athletes in our school. If we would have had the programs they have today in baseball, oh shit!
Yeah.
That's because that's all we did was play sports all day.
Yeah.
But we played. We
all
didn't
day.
concentrate on one. We did
No.
everything.
No.
We'd leave there and go play hoops, or leave there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you played everything.
Yeah, you didn't play one sport at all.
Yeah.
No, very few people did. I don't even know anybody that did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember you. This is probably a tough memory for you, but you were pitching in the All-Star game, and I was watching from right behind first base on the backfield. We were on. It was at the backfield, and at the Penguin. You have those two fields, one by the tennis courts and one in the back.
By Chris Beater's house.
Right, by Chris Beater's house. And remember that?
Yeah.
And he's pitching, and you were pitching I think you were no-hitting that game.
I was.
He was no-hitting the All-Star game.
Wow.
And this kid came up, and I never forget it I never forget this sound. This kid hit this line drive, and it hit Mark dead nuts in the forehead. And
I wasn't there.
No, it sounded like when a pumpkin gets dropped on concrete.
Yeah.
And I knew
I thought you was like a brick wall.
No, I knew it was bad. I knew it was bad. And I just remember your mom running out there, and I think your dad would too. And they were, trying to revive you. I don't even know if you were conscious. You were. Were you? Do you remember?
I stayed conscious. Yeah.
Were you conscious? But it was a bad thing. I mean, you had to go to the hospital and get an operation.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I went. So
did you know that?
Yeah,
They took
I remember.
me to,
I remember this.
They took me to Jeanette Hospital,
Okay.
and they did an X-ray, and they said it's a vein. He can
no
go
shit.
home. He has a concussion.
Oh,
And my oldest brother, very, very, mindful.
conscious,
Said,
right?
I don't think it's not too comfortable. We're going to take him to Children's.
Yeah.
So they took me to Children's, and I was there about 5 minutes. They come in and said, "No, Mr. Krupe came in crying." And my dad came in crying. I'm like, "What is going on
Right.
here?" And they're like, "Well, which side? How much hair do you want cut off? Because we're doing brain surgery in about 10 minutes." I said, "What is going on here?"
Yeah, I bet you were scared.
So,
to death.
like
Oh
a
my
fool, I
God.
said half of it. So for the next year, I had hair starting here back, and
I do remember that.
So you look like
I had emergency. I had a depressed skull fracture
From a baseball hitting
From a
you.
baseball,
You would have
hitting me.
died.
I would have died.
No shit.
And I just remember waking up that morning and I had staples in my head, and it was so. I had the worst
Yeah, I
thing you
remember
could
this.
Imagine. So
I remember this.
yeah, that was it. And I was a little gun shy pitching from
Yeah.
then on.
Were you? Did it stay with
I was
you?
a little gun shy.
Oh yeah,
I don't know how you couldn't be.
Yeah.
it messes with you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably one of the worst.
It
baseball
explains a
injuries
lot
ever.
though later in life. Now that I know that you had a little bit of
Nuts.
Dane Bramage,
Oh, yeah,
it
I've heard
definitely
that before.
explains it.
Yeah, right.
Things are starting to make more sense.
Yeah, it has made a lot more sense as his adulthood.
No, but that was one of the. I'll never forget that. My
Yeah, I
brother
do
and
remember
were
that.
standing there, and I just remember your mom. What a sweetie, running out and
Paul Diggs was catching.
My-
Joe Stewart was umpiring.
yeah.
No kidding.
I blame Paul Till. He called a fastball, and I wanted a curveball.
Well, it had to be Diggs' fault, for Christ's sake. Why wouldn't it be Diggs' fault?
So
He
anyway,
was within a mile. It was his
Yeah.
fault.
I didn't know he was catching though.
Wow.
That's amazing, and then you're lifelong friends with Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.